guys, so for my project, I decided to take part in a Zumba class at the natatorium on the UW-Madison campus. After doing some background research of the practice and interacting with some individuals in the class, I've come to the conclusion that Zumba is not only an upbeat and fun way to get your exercise in, but it creates a forum in which women can embrace their femininity and realize their own strength, helping to gain an equal standing amongst their male counterparts, not just in the gym, but in a societal view. Zumba was actually created on accident by choreographer and fitness instructor Alberto Beto Perez in the mid-1990s. He was on his way to teach an aerobics class when he realized he didn't have his music. So he improvised and used the salsa and merengue tapes that he had with him instead, creating a perfect mix of dance and aerobics. In 2001, he began teaching this hybrid practice in Miami, where he shortly thereafter collaborated with two other dancers, coining the term Zumba. The class took part in a large gymnasium on the second floor of the Nat. As the gym filled up to its maximum capacity, I took note that the entire class consisted of only girls, all relatively around my age, with the exception of one older gentleman towards the front. This large ratio was already very telling of some of the underlying ideas that are associated with Zumba, especially in terms of the importance of gender. As soon as the music started up, unbeknownst to me, everyone else already knew all the fast-paced movements that the instructor was doing to a T. Though I was definitely a beat or two behind everyone else, I slowly but surely began to let loose a little more. In the duration of the hour-long class, the songs she played varied in correlation to the different dance styles that were being incorporated. With the songs that were more hip-hop based, the moves correlated through things like heart stomping and booty popping. With songs that were more Latin based, there were definitely a lot more use of the hips, swaying and digging our energy down through our legs. Though I felt uncomfortable at first, after a while, the sweat beating down my face and the resonating sound of the collective stomping on the floor became extremely empowering. It was so encouraging to look around at everyone, more importantly, the strong women around me, and see them embracing their bodies and just letting loose with the music. After the class was over, I asked the instructor, Raquel Solis, a few questions regarding her involvement with Zumba. When I asked her, what is the relationship between the music and the correlating dance moves, and what different dance genres or practices does Zumba pull from? She answered, when choreographing a song, every time a certain part of the song comes in, you perform the same movement. Zumba is based on Latin rhythms, but other rhythms are also incorporated. In trying to dig a little deeper into my fascination with the relationship between gender and Zumba, I asked her if she sees a consistent dominance in one gender over the other in those who attend. If so, why? She said that we see more females than males in group fitness classes, whether it's Zumba, yoga, or strength. This is probably related to socialization, I would think. Though she did not elaborate on this, I was fortunate enough to also speak to a couple of the girls afterwards who had attended the class to ask them about their thoughts on the difference in gender among the class and why they think that is. This is what they had to say.
I think it's because there's a lot of hip movement, so guys are more like, they don't have hips.
Having gained a bit of insight on the instructors' and participants' view on gender in Zumba, I turned to the internet for some more thoughts on the topic. One article in particular, titled The Feminist Implications of Zumba, had a very insightful excerpt saying that Zumba has the potential to, and currently does, create revolutionary feminist sites within a heteronormative, hypermasculine, and predominantly white gym environment, with white, cisgender, heterosexual, able-bodied, fit young men often being the ones who figuratively run and literally manage many gyms. The fact that there is a space within that structure where mainly women and queer men, mainly of color, come together to dance, celebrate their bodies, embrace their sexuality, and generally have a good time is transgressive to me. Before this, I had never really realized that the gym can be thought of as a parallel to today's society. The same way in which women can be seen as lesser than their male counterparts in society is the same dynamic that can be seen at your local YMCA. In another article titled Rooms of Our Own, Melissa McEwen explains what went through her mind as she passed the window of a Zumba studio, saying, I was peering into a room of their own, into one room in a secret world of women that most men don't know, and not known to too many women who fear the woman-centered spaces plethoric narratives convey disincentives to us to avoid. The secret world of affirmative, safe, non-competitive womanhood in which the makers of pop culture don't venture, save for the occasional tourist, even though rooms like this one are like oxygen in many women's lives, the only place we can really breathe. Being the self-identifying woman I am, hearing these words and reflecting on my Zumba class experience stirred a similar emotion in me as it had in Melissa. As a woman, society is always giving us parameters and expectations on how to act. This can lead to not only feeling like an invalid member of society, but can lead us to lacking to see validity in ourselves. Zumba, in its use of powerful yet effeminate moves, is able to temporarily take us out of the criticizing public eye and transport us to an environment in which we are free to explore the strengths of our femininity. I plan on attending more Zumba classes in the future, and I highly encourage you to do the same. Thanks, guys.